Hello everyone, I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday. In today's video, guys, I'm gonna show you how to duo speedrun the Sand Devils Necropolis stage 25 together with food. Now, I want to give a massive shout out to Biohack because he's the person that brought this to my attention. He actually made a video on the theme, and check out his video. I'm gonna link it in the pinned comment. Head over, show him some love, drop him a subscribe. Awesome stuff. And I was actually talking with Seth last night, and we were talking about the Sand Devils Necropolis, of course. And he was mentioning to use maybe an Affinity Breaker set, like on champions like Ninja and stuff like this, you know. And yeah, it's actually not a bad idea. It got a buff now, so that set might finally have a bit of a place in the game. And there are a couple of things in here. There are a couple of different options on how you can do this. Now, I'm going to show you one option, the one that Biohack showed you, and this might be a bit more needy in terms of blessings. In terms of speeds, is not such a big deal, honestly. It's much more attainable than having the Godseeker Aniri at 270 speed with all the crazy stats. But basically, let's have a quick look at the stats on Godseeker Aniri. We still have her on a regeneration. It's still very important. I have her on a Defiant set. But look at that speed. The speed dropped down drastically. And if you're dropping 70 speed, it's going to be much easier for you guys to tank the defense or to tank the HP than it was before, because right now I have pretty much the same stats I used to have on her when she was at 270 speed. Probably I have 300 more defense and I might have a bit of more HP. But you don't need to have such a crazy HP. I think Biohack had 60k plus, around 10k less than me. And yeah, it is easier to tank her with this speed. The trick is with masteries as well. So you gotta make sure you have Spirit Haste on her, because you need to be over 200 speed if you want this to work, guys. Very important. And yes, you don't want to have anything with turn meter to ensure that she's not gonna miss her turn or anything like that. She's not gonna gain too much turn meter to take the turn before she actually needs to. It's all about bringing the revive skill at the right cooldown with the boss's skills to ensure that you're always reviving at the right moment. Now, what you really need in here is to ensure that you have the right blessing on her. And yes, you don't need to have all these masteries on her. I've got them because I cannot stand the red dot, okay? So I just went in and took Shadow Heal, I took Solidarity, I took Deterrence and all the rest because I don't want to see a red dot. Now, the thing with the blessing, you need to have a 5-star miracle heal on Godseeker Aniri if you want this strategy to work in the way I'm showing it to you. If not, there is another option. Now, I'm not 100% sure exactly how that works. It's just what I've seen from other people talking in my Discord, but they were saying if you are able to dodge one book on Godseeker Aniri's A3 and don't have the cooldown on a 4th turn, have it instead on 5th turn cooldown, even if she's at 270 speed, it's gonna work in the exact same way I'm about to show it to you with the blessing. And that won't require a 5-star blessing. But that might mean that you need to waste epic skill tomes. You need multiple Godseeker Aniris if the first one, the second one doesn't have a good RNG with the books, and you're gonna have to go in with the books one by one to ensure that you're dodging a book in there. The passive needs to be fully booked, so you need to ascend the champion before and then start booking the champion. Very important. When we are talking about the rest of the things, guys, we're gonna use Ninja in my run because I'm about to show you how to speed farm it. If you don't have Ninja, you're not gonna be able to really speed farm it because the rest of the champions are just not able to do 2 minutes runs. It will take you 4-5 minutes. You can use Walking Tomb Drank. I think Biohack was using Yoshi Drankard. So let's quickly go over the champions because sometimes I'm saying the names and you guys don't understand them. And it might be because of my filthy accent. But basically, Yoshi, the Drankard, he was a past fusion. Basically, he brings HP burn and decreased accuracy with this skill. Now, if you are bringing more debuffs on the boss, what exactly it will happen is that when the boss cleanses the debuffs from himself, it's gonna do less damage to your team. That's why having champions that bring extra debuffs in can benefit your team all around. So Yoshi the Drankard can do it. I think Biohack was doing it in roughly 5 to 6 minutes with him and Godseeker Aniri. Now, yes, it's not a speed farm like this. I'm just giving you guys different options. So I'm not just talking about Ninja basically. And you can farm it overnight if that's what you feel like it. You know, just go in overnight, do a few runs, get some oils. It is important to farm oils because if you're ascending, the right stats on your gear, guys, is a massive boost on your stats, like crazy stats. Okay, so definitely worth it. Now, if you're unlucky, it's a different cup of tea. Yoshi, how I mentioned, you can use, for example, Crohnam. I don't have the champion available because I haven't completed my referral accounts, but if you want to do it for me, please, I'm going to give you my login details to get that done. He does a very similar thing with Ninja in a way or another, places the HP burn, and then he detonates, attacks 3 times at random, tons of different things. I never used him in there because, how I mentioned, I don't have him on my account. I'm pretty sure Artek can do the job as well, and this is a new champion that we all got for free, either by using this skill to land the HP burn, then you can detonate it, and the good part is that you can bring in food, guys, so that's the main thing. Let me quickly show you my Ninja, because how I mentioned, we discussed about using Affinity Breaker, right? And that's actually what I have on him. So let's take this out. I don't need him in here. Recently used first and Ninja. So he is on Affinity Breaker. Keep in mind he's a +4 champion, right? And he does have better stats. I literally went in at the forge, forged enough pieces to be able to put together a set. I don't really care about the stats that I got on him, but he has 218 speed. He can constantly die. Is absolutely not a problem. I do have damage build for him because, hey, I mentioned he's a +4 empowered champion. So the extra stats, just look here on the screen, are just crazy, right? Like the crit rate, the crit damage. Plus he's a 5-star awaken as well, which gives me more stats. It's just crazy. All the new things that you can do on champions is just nuts. But basically, all he really needs is to have the accuracy, okay? Have the accuracy, and he can constantly die. And you want to have an Affinity Breaker set to ensure that you are landing the debuffs. I'm actually going to show you the whole build on the champion. So there we go. Affinity Breaker, an accuracy set. You've seen the total stats. Most of the gear is rare or epic. Nothing crazy on the stats. How I mentioned, I've just went in, completed the set, chucked it on the champion, and sayonara. The boots are probably the best thing I have on the champion in terms of artifacts, you know. Then, of course, I have an accuracy banner. You want to have a lot of accuracy to make sure you're not getting resisted. Masteries, offense, and support tree. We have Sniper for Brimstone, Master Hexer for the duration of HP burn that we are landing on the boss. And Brimstone, here it is. 5-star is much better than the rest because it's protected. If you don't have the Brimstone protected, it's pretty irrelevant to use it, honestly. It's actually, yeah, irrelevant. But that being said, let's do a run, and probably you've noticed the time on the thumbnail. That time is not fake, guys. That's done with these champions. Ninja is just an absolute boss slayer. HP burn, that Brimstone, like, check it out. So much damage, right? And that's where it comes in play, kind of like, yeah, it's actually very consistent. It's actually better than my entire team that I had before because I can do it with food. So I have my team with Raiho, Mother Sibel, 2 Septimus, Armiger. Very needy in terms of stats. Extremely needy. And that does it roughly in around 1 minute and 12 seconds to 1 minute and 40 seconds. That's kind of like the average in between those times. And not with food, of course. And look at this. I can actually do it with food. So I can chuck in some champions while I'm doing this and just get them leveled up while I'm farming for oils. And yes, it might take me 10 seconds extra per run, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. But you know what? It doesn't matter because it's not some time that, oh my god, I won't be able to recover all that lost time, you know? So it's definitely worth it to do it like this if you have the champions, 100%. And if you have the blessings, that's actually very, very beneficial. If you don't have the blessings for Godseeker and Iriman, keep an eye on the trader, you know? Keep an eye on the trader. You're going to be able to purchase the split souls from the trader for her and get them get her up at 5 stars slowly. It might take you a couple of months or so, but once you're doing that, you're going to be able to do this, or how I mentioned, gamble with the books. Like, these are kind of like the two options if you want to do it with food and do it with Ninja or another magic champion on this stage. If you're doing it on the normal way with Ninja in here, it's not going to work, because if he's constantly dying, she's constantly going to use the revive. So you need to use one of these strategies, either not having her fully booked, either having the blessing on her like this, you know. And unfortunately, I don't have another Godseeker Aniri to show you guys that you can do it with the books without having her fully booked. Sorry, I'm not sure if somebody has a video on that. I'm gonna try to look around to see, and if I find one, I'm gonna pin it in the pinned comments as well. Or maybe you guys know. Let me know in the comments down below. We're gonna link it there for other people that haven't seen it to see how that works as another strategy as well, you know. But truly, nobody does it like Ninja, and unfortunately, I know new players cannot get him, and it is pretty frustrating. But yes, unfortunately, it's not much that we can do about it. Now, how I mentioned, Biohack was doing it with Yoshi, and he was getting around 5 to 6 minutes per run, which is not the worst outcome. If you want to use Dragon here, you want to make sure he dies as well. It's going to be pretty hard, if not, to keep him alive constantly. So it's better if he dies and Godseeker Aniri doesn't revive food and nothing gets messed up in the transit, in the process, basically, you know. But here we go. Okay, 1 minute and 6 seconds. If we're landing a Brimstone and we're not getting too many weak hits, we're spot on. Check that out. 1 minute and 14 seconds. We're going to revive one more time, and it's game over for this boss. If we're not getting weak hits, hopefully. There we go. 1 minute and 23 seconds, guys. It might even be better than the one I showed you on the thumbnail, but either way, it's definitely a pretty awesome thing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Yes, I know it is pretty needy in terms of blessings for Godseeker Aniri. Ninja doesn't need that Brimstone, but it does help a lot to bring it to this sort of time. Without Brimstone, it's not going to be as fast. It's probably going to be around 2 minutes or so. Having the Affinity Breaker set on Ninja is essential. You're not going to be able to do it without it, because it's going to be probably too many weak hits. It might take too long in the run. I might be wrong about it. Let me know in the comments down below. But that was all for this video. Much love. Appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.